In this video, we're going to show you how to replace a strut assembly on your Ford Focus. Let's get started. Using a 19mm socket, remove the 4 lug nuts. If your wheel is stuck on, leave 1 lug nut, thread it on. Using a saw face hammer, we're going to hit the rim on the back. Remove the wheel. Using an 18mm wrench, we're going to hold the back of the sway bar while using a 15mm socket to remove the nut. Pull the sway bar out of the bracket. Remove the lock clip for the brake hose using a pair of pliers. Wiggle up. Pull it out of the bracket. Using an 18mm socket, remove the bolt for the strut. Remove the bolt. Using a saw face hammer, we're going to bonk the knuckle down and get it off of the strut. Using a 13mm socket, remove the 3 nuts. Push down on the knuckle and remove the strut. Set the strut assembly up in a spring compressor and start to compress the spring. Once you have the spring compressed, but the cartridge is still not moving, we're going to start to remove the nut. Using an 18mm socket, remove the top nut. With our nut mostly off, I'm going to continue to compress the spring. Using a 9mm socket to hold the top of the strut pole while I use the wrench to take it off. Make sure all of the tension is taken off the spring before you fully remove the nut. Remove the boot off the old assembly. Remove the cup. Push down on the top of the strut. Remove the holder. Cycle the strut 3 to 5 times. Remove the top nut. Install the cup. Install the boot. Install the strut assembly into the spring. Make sure that the tail of the spring is lining up with the stop and get the nut started. Snug down the nut. With our nut mostly installed, I'm going to take some pressure off of the spring. Torque the top strut nut to 66 foot-pounds. Remove the strut and spring assembly from the compressor, and it's ready to go back onto the car. Remove the nuts off the top of the top hat. Install the strut. Get the nut started up top. Install the strut into the knuckle. We're going to use a jack under our ball joint to help us push up on the knuckle and get our strut installed. Make sure the rear bracket is lining up with the knuckle. As you go up on your jack, continue pushing on the rotor, forward and backward, kind of wiggling, and the strut should drop into place. With the bracket lined up for the strut bolt, we'll install the bolt. Snug it down. Snug down the nuts. Torque the strut bolt to 111 foot-pounds. Remove the jack. Install the sway bar link. Get the nut started. Using an 18mm wrench, hold the back of the sway bar link while using a 15mm socket to snug down the nut. Torque the sway bar link nut to 46 foot-pounds. Install the brake hose into the bracket. Install the clip. Install the wheel. Get the lug nuts started. Snug them down. Torque the lug nuts to 94 foot-pounds in a cross pattern. With the vehicle on the ground, torque the strut nuts to 22 foot-pounds. and you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.